Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here then welcome. Now today I want to talk about some complexion products that I really put to the test here. I wore them on what was considered the second most hottest day of the year here where I live, and by the end of the day they looked amazing, and the best part is they're all drugstore. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then let's get started. Okay, I got you zoomed in a little bit more. Just a quick little backstory to show the true test of these products. It might have been a few weeks ago now that my mom and I went shopping, and on that day it was considered the second most hottest day of the year. So why we picked that day to go shopping, I will never know. But on our last stop, we stopped by this antique slash thrift store, and it's very hot in there. It is very hot. And it was to the point where I almost actually did pass out because I got too hot. And I will say, despite all that ordeal, these products held up, still looked absolutely beautiful. When I finally did get home at the end of the day, there was just a little bit of shine breakthrough, just a tiny bit. So these products have definitely become favorites for me for sure when I know I want my makeup to last all day long. And that little complexion trio are these right here from e.l.f. Cosmetics. The Power Grip Primer, either one. This one is just the one with niacinamide, but either one of them will do. The e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. Mine is in the shade 1 Fair. I know they've recently launched some new shades of this, and I'd like to try the lightest shade and just see how that looks on my skin. And then, of course, the Halo Glow Setting Powder. I have both this one, which is in the light, and also the light pink or soft pink, or whichever that's called. There again, either one. I was wearing the pink one that day, but I just have this one sitting in front of me, and this one is equally, it's the same thing. But these products really upheld that day. I was so impressed with how with their longevity, so I thought I want to just come on here and talk about them. So first I'm going to apply the Power Grip Primer, and I just like to press this primer in. I just press it because I find that these are so sticky that really spreading them around is not going to really do anything. So I find that pressing them in is what really helps the most. And by the way, if you are curious what's on my eyes, a tutorial on this look went up this past Friday. It was part of my 5 looks 1 palette for the Stone Cold Fox palette from ColourPop. So this is look number 3, I believe, in that video. So if you're interested and want to see a tutorial, check that video out. And while I'm letting that primer kind of sink in, because I find that this primer really needs time to set in, the other products I was wearing that day were some of these Halo Glow Beauty ones. I have all of them here except for they just launched 2 new ones of their blush ones. Now I will say that the Contour Beauty one, this is in the Fair Light shade. This is amazing. It's more cool tone because, well, it's a contour, and I didn't know how I would feel about that because I usually lean more warm with my products. I really do enjoy this. On me, it pulls more of like a neutral, and it's just stunning. It's perfect for every day. I was wearing this that day. And for the highlighters, I have the 3 shades here, the Liquid Gold, the Rose Quartz, and then the Champagne. I was wearing the Champagne one that day, and these are also equally as nice. I really enjoy those, the formula. I don't have any issues with those. The blushes is where I run into some issues with them. They're very finicky. Like, some days they work really beautifully on the skin, and then other days they tend not to look as good. Now, I will say that the shades Magic Hour and Candlelit, these 2, I like the shades, but they're definitely more highlighter than they are actual blush. You don't really get a blush pigment from these, so I've just been using these 2 as highlighters and mixing them in with the other 2 blush shades. But these 2 right here are the ones that I had mixed together that day, the Rosé You Slay and the Berry Radiant. And sometimes they want to go on really patchy, and then some days they go on really beautifully. And I cannot figure out why that is, and I don't know. I really want to love these products, but I don't understand why some days they want to work for me and then other days they don't. I don't know, but I was wearing these 2 that day mixed together, and oddly enough, they did look a little patchy at first, but after I packed a setting powder over the top of them, they looked beautiful. So it was really odd. So I will be putting these on again today and just seeing how they do. But oddly enough, I want the new blush shades out of these. I want to love them. And maybe it's this pretty little light pink packaging that draws me in, but I want to really love them. But I think that that has had time to set in. So let's go in with the Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I have to keep dipping back in to get, like, you know. Of course, I know that these are really lightweight. And that's really what I love about this particular product, is how lightweight it is. Because I don't like heavy products on my skin. I'm not a full coverage foundation person. That's just not really what I like. So this product is perfect for me. And I'm sure there are people out there who already know about this combo and they love it, and I am late to the game, but I just really wanted to come on here and talk about it because I was really impressed that day with how my makeup looked, and after me almost passing out in the middle of a store and my makeup still looking amazing, I just want to give Elf a shout out. I mean, just beautiful. No, it doesn't cover up and have a lot of pigment to it, so it's not going to cover things like acne marks or anything like that, but I don't really care about that personally. I mean, if any acne I have shows through, it's fine. I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. So, got that down. These are the sponge tip applicators, but as you can see, I cut the sponge off. I dislike those sponge tip applicators. They do nothing for me. Nothing. So I cut them off, and I just squeeze these now on the back of my hand, and I find that they work really nicely that way. So this is the contour shade. This one is in the Fair Light. I was wearing it that day. And I'm just going to put that up here on my forehead. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you'll know that I just like to keep contour or bronzer shades up here. I like this area to be mostly for my blush, so I just like to keep these more up on this part of my... And I mean, these blend in really easily. The contour one is amazing, and I've never had the contour one be weird. Like, it works for me every time. I never have any issues with the contour one. It's always the blush ones. But some days I could get them to work really beautifully on the skin, so I don't understand why that is. And I don't know how they're going to perform on me today, but I know the last time I wore them, they were patchy. But when I put powder over them, they look nice. So I don't know if I'd really recommend the blushes or not, but I do like the highlighters and the contour one. I think that I don't have an issue with those. I just really love that. It looks more of like a neutral on me. It's not too cool tone, but it's not warm tone. It's just like a really perfect neutral. Of course, I know that depends on your undertone as well, but I just think that's perfect. And this is what I was wearing that day. Okay, for highlighter, I'm going to wear the Champagne one. This is the lightest highlighter one. Of course, you know what? I could have showed you. Well, there you can still see some of the contour one left over. I should have showed you that a while ago. I'm sorry about that. So you can see what was left over, and then I'll show you this one too. Of course, I'm sure most people, these have been out for a while, so most people have probably seen them, but I do like to include swatches now. Let's see if I can squeeze out just a teeny bit. Whoop. There you go. You can see the color there. Let me rub that in a little bit. Yeah, there you go. And the highlighters, I don't have any issue with the highlighters. I guess it's because you use such a small amount, maybe, but I didn't have any issues with these. It was just the blush. But honestly, you probably, if you got the blush ones and liked them, you probably wouldn't even need the highlighter ones because all the blushes have a glow to them, so the highlighter is probably not needed. But if you didn't want the blush ones and just wanted the highlighter ones, I think that these are nicer. I don't see them being as patchy as the blushes can be sometimes. And I've noticed that with the blushes, I've used a brush, I've used a sponge, I've used my fingers. It doesn't matter. If they just want to be patchy that day, they're going to be, no matter the application, and I don't get it. But, okay, I'm going to go in with the blush shade. This one is in Berry Radiant. So, let's See if I can squeeze some out really lightly here because I'm trying not to squeeze out too much. Hello? Oh, there we go. It's Berry Radiant. And then this one is Rose You Slay. And I like to mix the two of these. See, like that. And I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see. Because some days they want to be patchy, and then some days they go on beautifully. I don't understand. And then when they go on nicely, I'm thinking, is it me? Now, they're not doing so bad today, but there is a patch. Let me zoom you in. Do you see that? Right there. And it does that. Like, there's a patch. And no matter what you do, if you try to put more product over that, let me show you, it's not going to matter. You see? It's not going to matter. It's just going to go all around that spot, and it's not going to actually cover it. I don't get it. I don't understand. But it's only that spot. But if you can look past that, they look beautiful. But I still wore these two that day. So I'm going to apply them today. Because I haven't talked about these on camera yet, I don't believe. I just don't understand it. Why they work sometime and then sometimes they don't. I've had them work perfectly, like they're not patchy. And then most of the time they do this, so I don't know. But either way, I just wanted to put these on. These aren't really the products I was talking about being like the dream team for the complexion. That was the powder, the primer, and then the Halo Glow liquid filter. These are just what I was wearing that day, so I wanted to retry them. So these aren't really part of the dream team, except for that contour one. That's nice. But I will say that these did last, even though they look patchy. And it's doing the same thing on this side as well. Let me zoom you in. Let me zoom, because you can see that already. Why? Why? And look, that makes it worse. Ew. But I want to love them. I don't know why, but I want to. Well, this is really warm to go with this eye look, but I'm about to pack powder over this, so I'm hoping that will kind of tone it down anyway. But I just don't understand, because I really want to love this product, because I love so much of e.l.f.'s other makeup, but this just isn't it for me. But we're going to go in with the powder, and I did finally get me one of these little triangle sponges from e.l.f., which I really do like. And we are going to pack that all over those blushes, all over, under the eyes, all over the face, because this is what I did that day. I didn't have this sponge though, I had another powder puff, but this one is amazing. I really do like it. I like the shape of it because it gets right up in here. So now I see why people really love these triangle shaped sponges, or powder puffs I should say. But patchy blushes or not, this face of makeup, because I was wearing the same thing, well, I weren't wearing this eyeshadow, but the Complexion products, they lasted. They looked amazing by the end of the day. And I was really impressed by them. I was really, really impressed by these products. And this was the face of makeup I was wearing that day. And everything, just kind of making sure I got everything pressed in. And everything wore beautifully that day. I didn't have any issues with fading or nothing. Even the weird, sometimes patchy blush, even with that, they still, what was on my cheeks held in there. The contour and everything, just everything held nicely. I mean, you can still see where it's patchy, but I still feel like the powder helped it some. I don't know. I mean, it still does look a little patchy, but not as bad. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. If I am and you have some tips, please let me know. Because I want to really love these. Because I love all the other Halo Glow products. So I really want to love and enjoy these. And I don't know why they want to be patchy in certain areas. Because if you can look past that, it's such a pretty color. Okay, I had completely forgotten to say that I would be doing a check-in, so I'm crouched down in my bathroom right here in front of my camera. That's why there's an echo. I don't have my my microphone set up right now. I don't have that set up in here, so there is going to be an echo, so I'm sorry about that. But I wanted to show you in front of my window right here so you can see a natural lighting. You can just see I have some minor shine breakthrough, but it's very minimal, and that's the same thing that happened that day. I just had a little bit of dewiness coming through, but nothing too intense. Now, I don't have super oily skin, so if you do, I don't know how long these products may last for you. I have more of a combo skin. I do get a little oily in here, so I feel like knowing that these products hold up really well on me, and I'm super happy with how they wear. And it's been about, I'll say, 8 hours now, and I'm about to take my makeup off and I gotta do some editing for some other videos I'm working on right now, so I just wanted to come in and do this final check-in so you can see how everything looks. So my little check-in is going to be really randomly placed in my video because I'd completely forgotten that I was going to be doing this check-in, so it's going to be in here weird, but I did want to show you how it looked at the end of the day. Oh well, but I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope that you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already. It truly means the world to me when you do, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!